Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Sleeping Giants, Red Star Belgrade. I don't know why I keep getting lower and lower as I say that, it's just one of those things, I'm not used to saying it, so I'm trying to find a way that makes it fun for me. Anyway, in the last episode, you would have seen us play our first fixture in the league, a 5-1 drubbing of Novi Pazar. Now, I said that our next livecom game was going to be the game against Radnicki, and I played for literally like 20 minutes more, and I realised I was already there, and I had a little bit of extra time and I figured it won't hurt for 1 month to just bundle two into one, basically, because there wasn't a lot of games. There's slightly few less in this league. I can't do this every month. Sometimes it will just be 1 month's worth, but I figured we'd get a little bit of progression going first just to really get the ball rolling with this. So, a couple of things have happened. Firstly, I've had to sell a player because the club just doesn't have any bloody money at the moment. And I haven't been able to bring in anyone apart from that free transfer I showed you in the last episode. Now, obviously, I'm not exactly scared of working with a tight budget. I do worked with a pretty tight budget at Pompey. Admittedly, this is slightly lighter. But the thing is, a lot of the transfers, we'd actually brought in quite a few players, but they were all brought in with money that they were already brought in for me. Like, I came in after the players had already been brought in, which is a bit pain in the arse. So I think next year we may have a little bit more transfer funds. And I've certainly added to that with what I've done. Now, I mentioned to you in the last episode that we were having some requests for Predrag Rajkovic. Basically, all the clubs in Europe basically wanted the lad. And I was kept saying to them, no, give me 4.7 million or whatever. Nobody was. And eventually, Lille actually bit. And I had a decision to make. This was the last day of the transfer window when this happened. And I thought to myself, right, well, he's not our first choice keeper. Yes, okay, he probably will be at one point. But we've got a great youth academy. We'll almost certainly have some more excellent young goalkeepers coming through for us very soon. Is it worth it if I just get rid of and get some money into the club now, just to tide us over for a little bit? Because we do have a great youth academy. And I decided to go with yes. Now, it says 3.2 million here, but it can actually rise to 4.75 million, which is better. Much better. And it's given us a little bit of extra cash, which, you know, admittedly, literally none of that has gone on the transfer budget, as you can see. Like, we've got 300k there now, so a little bit has gone on it, but it was like 5% or something stupid. But it gives us a little bit more cash, and that is the key. Also, I don't even know how this happened, but Luka Jovic, a youngster of ours, we got an offer from Dynamo Kiev, and I said no. And then it goes, joining Dynamo Kiev. I'm like, what? So I don't understand how that's even happened. They've signed a player from me, despite me saying no and turning it down. And I don't think the board went above my head, so I can only assume they've got him on some kind of pre-contract. I have no idea. See, look, he's not joining them until 2016, so I can only assume they've just gone behind my back and got him, which is a pain in the arse. But I guess that's one of those things we're going to have to deal with in this save. Now, it's been a bit of a rough month in some respects. I've been trying to work out a way to play, basically. Like, the way we played in our first game was superb. We won 5-1, but I was a little bit unhappy with some of the things that were going on in the team. Like, we still were losing a lot of aerial challenges, and we still conceded quite a few clear-cut chances, and on another day, perhaps they could have won that game. So, in our very next game, at home to Vojvodina, I decided to try a little bit, but I changed the tactics ever so slightly. Instead of using a halfback, I put an anchorman in. Someone had requested that. Yeah, that does not work. Not for me, anyway. I mean, I'm sure it works for some people, but it did not work with the system I'm playing. I like having a halfback, and it worked well in the games I played it. So I tried 2 games with an anchorman, and these are the 2 games. We lost this one comfortably, really. We weren't even really all that close to the game. From what I can remember, we didn't really have many chances. They were just better. I mean, actually, I've got to tell you. Well, okay, fair enough. No, I mean, Daniel Luboya put them in front on 31 minutes before Lazar Veselinovic finished the game off, basically, and he caught us on the break. And, well, I mean, okay, maybe we were a little bit unlucky, but the point is, I still think we played better with a halfback and not an anchorman. And in our next game, and it was also worrying because it was our first home game of the season, and we genuinely cannot afford to go on a bad run because I could easily see us getting the sack if that happened, so we need to get right up there. We had an away game against Napredak, and again we found ourselves 2-0 down here, and I was genuinely worried. Mame Undai, and I'm pretty certain he's playing in the Premier League, isn't he? I recognise him. Maybe it's not. No, okay, what we're talking about. Yeah, put them in front, and then Nikola Trujic made it 2-0. Thankfully, we were able to sort of batter them in the second half, and Jordi Despotovic and Georgi Rakic, the 2 strikers, the Georgies, were able to make it 2-2 and sort of get some semblance of dignity back for us. But I mean, we create 3 clear-cut chances and still disappointing. We should be dominating these games. And basically the conclusion I came to at this point was, well, what I've come to the conclusion of at the end of this episode, you'll see. I went back to our sort of halfback system. I changed a couple of tactics around, but I think I found something that I like. I went back and put a halfback in at this point. We then played what would have been the live com, but I wanted to try and go a little bit forward and sort my tactics out, so I'd actually have something to report to you at this point. So we played against Radnicki, and we were brilliant. Despotovic made it 1-0 on 15 minutes, which was awesome. Great start. God, he's got such a baby face. Quickly followed up by Alexander Kaitai. Unfortunately, he's torn a hamstring and is out for 3 months, so don't expect to see him anytime soon, probably before Christmas. And the game was wrapped up after half-time by Vukan Savicevic, and that gave us a very comfortable win, and those are the sort of wins I'm happy to see more of. Like, I need to see more results like that. That 2-0 I'm going to happily accept as a blip, but I do like the way we played. In our next game, though, I think, basically in this game, I tried out a tactic that I think worked quite well for us, and you think, well, you lost the game. Yeah, okay. Jagodino are actually atop of the league coming into this game. We actually took the lead through Alexander Kaitai on 16 minutes, which was awesome, and gave us a real good chance of winning this game, although for some reason his stats are declining, which is annoying. Then Vladimir Jovancic equalised for him. Disappointing. But straight after halftime, Alexander Kovacevic made it 2-1 to us. And at this point, we absolutely threw everything at them and won ourselves a penalty on 64 minutes when Milos Bosancic was able to dispatch it. 3-1 up, away from home, cruising. And I just want to show you something. 9. Like, I've never had as many... I know clear-cut chances don't matter. Well, they do, in a sense, because if you're having a clear-cut chance, generally that means you are shooting from ridiculously close range, because that just generally seems to be the way that they work. If you're within a certain area and you have a decent chance, that counts. So to me, if you have 9 of those, you should not be losing a game. It's as simple as that, really. Like, fair enough when it's a little bit closer and we had 5 or something, that's still a lot, but fucking 9? That's the most I've ever seen us have, like, on any of my saves on FM this year. 9. Ridiculous. I had 10 half chances in a game as well one time. But yeah, so 3-1 up, dominating, and I thought to myself, right, we've had 9 clear-cut chances and we've scored 3 goals. We are dominating the game. If we don't win this now, I'll be fucking furious. So then with 7 minutes to go, Vladimir Jovancic made it 3-2, and I thought, uh-oh, let's not get complacent now. So we went defensive. I changed it to defensive, put it on waste time, just to get rid of the game and just get through the game. Then... with 2 minutes to go, Bogdan Planic decided that would be a good time for him to get himself red carded, which was always fun. And naturally, in the 90th minute, Filip Arsinovic equalised, and I thought, we just thrown away a 2-goal lead despite having these amount of chances. Depressing. Unfortunately, things got even worse. Despite playing a defensive system with a deep line, somehow they were able to get in behind us with our defensive line pushed up to the halfway line. I don't know how that happens when you've got drop deeper on and defensive play. What were they doing up there? And then Vladimir Jovancic made it fucking 4-3. Very disappointing to concede 2 goals in basically stoppage time and lose a game that you dominated so much. But up until then, I thought the tactic was actually working quite well. So I've now got 2 tactics which I'm experimenting with. Next game, back at home again. Once again, solid performance. This is the game that Alexander Kaitai was injured in, unfortunately, and I'm really starting to get into this save now because I'm liking the players. I'm starting to learn a bit more about them. So Nikola Antic scored a penalty, and he's a youngster. He's a very, very talented young left back, and he's played a few more games for us now. And as you can see, we were dominant in this game too. And then this is Nikola Antic, just in case you wanted to see. He's 20, but he's still got a lot of room to improve, and I'm very, very pleased with his performances for us this year. When he had to step up, he's done very, very well. Then Georgi Despotovic, with 50 minutes to go, wrapped the game up, because we had a lot of chances, but hadn't put them away. And then thankfully we got one more good chance, and that was Luka Jovic, who of course had come on to play in place of Kaitai, who'd picked up that horrible injury early in the game, made it 3-0, and we were cruising at this point. And again, lots of good chances, we're creating plenty. In the last game of the month, before, of course, today's game, we had our Serbian Cup game against a team from the 3rd tier called Zemun. And 2-0 is a little bit disappointing when you consider how good we were compared to them. I think that is my fault. I used our away style tactic against these guys, and I probably should have just gone with our home tactic because we're so much better than them. And it kind of, I think, we got a lot better chances after that. Like, Peknic put us in front, thank God. But if I hadn't switched to that attacking, we probably would have won 1-0, which is fine, because they didn't really threaten us, but probably could have done with a little bit better than that. Georgi Despotovic, of course, stepping up with another goal for us, which was great. And then Gavric also got injured in this game, and he's the one that was coming to replace... God, who was it that got injured? oh, bloody hell. In the last game. Kaitai, yeah. So that's basically where that leaves us. Now, in the league at the moment, we're 5th. Yeah, okay, it's not awful. We're only 3 points off the top, and we have the same goal difference as the top side, Jagodina. Had we won that ridiculous game, we'd be top at the moment, and they'd be where we are. So it's on a knife edge, really. We're only 2 points behind Partizan. We're right up there. And today we are playing against the side who are in the relegation spot, and that is Spartak. I don't know if it's just Spartak or whether their name is actually slightly longer than that. It does appear to just be Spartak. Oh, it's Spartak Subotica. Yeah, I remember them. They've had a couple of good seasons. 4th. Means they're in Europe. So what I want to show you now is the tactical changes I've made. So we're now running off 2 tactics. They're basically identical except for one thing, and that is the mentality, and that seems to be the key for us. So at home, still attacking. Instructions we've got as follows. We've got retain possession, shorter passing, work the ball into box, because we're getting a lot of possession in the games. We've got better players, so it makes sense that we can do that. We've got exploiting the flanks on overlap, run a defence, push higher up, and a much higher tempo. That is the sort of style we're playing at home, and it's working lovely. Now, the only thing I was finding away from home is that sometimes we were getting caught out. So what I've done here is go for a control style tactic, which mentality. That's the only difference between our home and away tactics. But believe me, it's been making it made a hell of a difference when I changed things. And so that is the tactic we are probably going to be playing today, because I think we are away from home, and it just means that we get more of a grip on the game and we don't get caught on the break as much. Because when you're playing an attacking style away from home, teams will just sit back, absorb the pressure, and break on you. This tactic allows a little bit more solidity, and that's kind of what I'm going for here. So yeah, let's take a little look at the squad. Top goal scorer for us at the moment is, of course, Despotovic with 4 goals in 7 games, which is pretty damn good. Top assister is Savicevic with 4 in 4 starts, which is bloody brilliant. Very happy with him. Most man of the matches, that's split between a lot of people. Pass rating, Antic and Kovacevic has got an 87% pass completion, which is superb, and that's because we have the type of system that we do. So I'm very pleased with that. Yellow card, Mihailovic, or yeah, I think it's Mihailovic, has got 3. As for red cards, of course, Bogdan Planic. And best player is, of course, Vukan Savicevic. Now, something I was reading last night, just relating to Sleeping Giants sort of teams, is that Steaua Bucharest, the other team that I was really considering for this save, have actually lost the rights to their own name, badge and kit or something. It's very, very strange. I was reading about it and it's bizarre. But yeah, it sucks to see that kind of thing. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about Red Star Belgrade, I think, but I actually can't remember what it was. So that's my own fault for not making proper notes for this episode. So yeah, that is that. Let's take a little look at the match preview. So we're away from home against Spartak. They're playing a sort of 4-1-4-1. So I think we're going to go for our control tactic, which is our Red Star away. So we're going to do a quick pick to get rid of Gavric. Oh, Bosancic, we've got a lot of problems on that left-hand side with the injuries. It's a shame. But thankfully, we've got an absolutely superb youth academy, and those players are just coming through like a conveyor belt, and I cannot wait to start blooding some of the young regions. I can't wait till our first youth intake. I don't know when the youth intake is in Serbia. I'm assuming it's the same kind of time as everywhere else in sort of Europe, so March, February kind of time. So I cannot wait till then. But we've still got more pressing issues. Jovic up front on his own. Is that really wise? Despotovic, it might have to be, actually. He's a little bit jaded. What about... no, where is he? Rakic is injured. It may well have to be Jovic. We'll give him a go. He's a very, very talented young player, Luka Jovic. I like the look of him a lot, and he's improving. He's only 16 years old. Wow. I wish that we hadn't have lost him to Dynamo Kiev already, but we've still got him for another 2 years, so we'll take that. Right, that's going to be that. Submit the team. We can always switch to our attacking system if we need to and find that we're not quite getting the cutting edge, but we're not also getting attacked at the same time. That's the idea. We start off a little bit cagey and then work our way into the game if we need to. So what I've been doing here is asking Momcilovic, because he has slightly better tactical judgment. He doesn't give me a great deal of things, but it's better than asking my assistant because he's not so great for that kind of thing. Right. We've got a debut today as well. Oh yeah, Jovanovic. Sorry, we've got 2 Jovanovics. I'm pretty certain there's another one. Or it might have been in the cup, actually. I don't know. I am desperately trying to learn the names properly because there's quite a lot of... I mean, obviously that's the way the name... In fact, every single player in the team, apart from our goalkeeper, has that itch style ending, which I'm obviously is the naming culture, the naming sort of standard in Serbia and countries like Croatia and that kind of area, I believe. So, anyway, let's get into this. I'm really hoping to win another live comp game since we've had a bit of a poor month. It'd be nice to get ourselves a win here at Spartak and get ourselves back up, because we could go top of the league today if things go our way, basically. So it's certainly not, you know, it's been a bit of a rough start, but I've started to figure out the tactic a little bit. When you're making a new tactic at the start of a save, you always are going to be under pressure, especially when you're managing a team that is expected to win games. That is always going to be a problem for us in a sense, because we're expected to win games, and I've still got to try and figure out a tactic that's going to work for us, all the while trying to do that. So thankfully we've managed to win a few just to keep the board at bay. Savicevic, good strike from Savicevic, and it is 1-0. Oh, Red Star are 1-0 up, and that's going to put us up into 3rd in the league, and only 1 point off the top, and actually puts us above our city rivals Partizan. So first half chance of the game, first goal, and look at that possession stat, 67% possession. We are just keeping that ball. They can't score if they haven't got the ball. I mean, that's one of the sort of approaches I'm using with us, basically, on this control teams that we're probably equally as good at. Bosanic, great ball through there, and Savicevic, first time strike, bottom corner, lovely stuff. Spartak 0, Red Star Belgrade 1, and that is a good start for us. Now, we do need a second goal, though. I don't want to sort of invite pressure on ourselves. That is our first shot of the entire game. For all the possession, we do need to have a few more shots, because they are going to be playing counter-attacking, and they're probably going to have to come out their shell a little bit more now. So that could allow us a little bit more space. That's all I will say. They've not even had a shot in this game yet, and actually our possession statistic is even more in our favour here. I think at half-time, if we are still dominating to this extent, it might be wise for us to sort of switch to our more attacking style. Maybe not, though, because I don't want us to get caught out. I'd rather win this 1-0 away from home and just be cagey away from home in a few games until I really figure out the way we're going to play this. Until such time as, yeah, I'm more confident with it. But we're playing well so far. Keeping a lot of the ball, not having any huge chances so far, but we've scored the goal that's put us 1-0 up here, and that is what matters to me at the moment. It would be, okay, quite a poor live com to watch, I must say, but it's the win that matters for us, really. If we've got to win boring, sometimes we've got to win boring. It's just one of those things. Let's get to half-time. They've not had a shot on target, but they have had 2 half chances, so probably long-range efforts, I can assume, since we've got such that compact back 4. Almost like a back 6 at times with those defensive midfielders in front of it. Really happy with the way things are going. Got to be careful with those players that are on bookings, though, because I do not want to get more players sent off. I'm hoping we can maybe grab a second goal in this second half, because winning away from home was great on the opening day, but I want to see us do it on a little bit more regular basis, basically. Problem is now they are going to have to try and throw something at us, and there you go, their first shot on target, and I don't want them to get the equaliser, because if they do, we may have to throw it onto our... Oh, dear. Wait a minute. Gojic. Savicevic. Oh, I thought we were going to have a long-range effort there. I really hoped we were going to have a shot. Peknic. He's in the box. Is he going to get fouled? Ball across. Jovic. What a save. That is a top quality save, and that was a real good chance for us to make that 2-0 and kill this game off effectively. Antic, and the ball is going to be cleared. No, we've actually, well done. Some good play. And how did that not count as even a half chance? It was a header dead in front of the goal. I can see what people mean about that, really. It's just, I don't know what they class as what. It doesn't make any sense sometimes. Thank God Maisel doesn't play for us. Right. Wow, winning most of our headers today. That is unlike us. Gojic is looking a bit... Well, he's... Do we even... We need to sign, like, maybe another defensive midfielder at some point if I can. I'm going to bring on Mihailovic here and give Despotovic a little run out. Says he is a quality player, and he does hold that ball up lovely for us, and he scores a few goals for it too. He's very, very good at that role, and I like him in there. So we're just going to do that. I am going to also do a little team talk just to say concentrate, because we are only a goal up, and I'd hate to see us concede now with how well we've played today. We've not been dominating by any stretch of the imagination, but we're doing what we do best, and that is controlling the ball. We're limiting the amount of chances they're created, and they've not had anything that's been highlight worthy so far, so I'll take that. Yeah, okay, we only had that one decent chance, but the header was pretty good too, so it's good. It's good. So, yeah, I can't really sit this formation any further back than I already am. Like, I don't want to switch to defensive too soon, especially when you're playing away from home, just because we're doing all right in these games, and I think there's been a goal in another game. Come on, 10 minutes to go. Oh, Savicevic is injured. Great. Thank God I kept a sub. And we've got Avramovsky. I just don't think he's anywhere near as good. He's a lot younger as well, I think, Alexander Avramovsky. 22 years old. Oh, okay. Still, fairly decent player, got to tell you. That's the wrong player. There we go. Yeah, 19 years old. Still not bad. finishing could do it. That's the thing, his finishing could do with being a little bit better for that kind of role, but, you know, we'll just have to see. Thank God we didn't make that other substitution, but I don't like having yet more injuries. We're getting a lot of long-term injuries to start this season off, and that is not what we need at all right now. Oh, thank God. Bosancic, that's a really powerful strike, but it's just hit against the wall, nobody there. Bosancic, he's lost the ball here, get in there, well tackled. Bosancic slides it through, across for Peck, and oh, off the crossbar, and that is ridiculous. I mean, we've scored. I think Peknic has got the goal. It is now 2-0 to Red Star Belgrade, but I don't really think we deserved that from that situation. It looked to me like the keeper just... No, terrible defending, and oh dear. Well, I mean, I'd be pissed if that happened to me, let's put it that way. But it looks like we are going to win this game and go joint top of the league, and I'm guessing Jagodina have won by a few more goals than us today, so that's the only reason we're not actually topping this division now. But that, it just comes back down to that away defeat at them. We could have been top of this league by... We could have been top of the league if we hadn't have had that poor result, but doesn't matter, we live to fight another day. We're solid at the back, we've got goals in us going forward. I'm liking the way things are going for us. There we go, Spartak 0, Crvena Zvezda 2. I'm really pleased with that performance. Keeping things tight, that's what I want to do. Best goal difference in the division. Right, okay, this is what I don't understand. Is it done on head-to-head in Serbia? Because we've got a better goal difference than them, or is it because they've played less games? I'm not entirely sure. Because we're above Kukuriki. I can only assume it's done on head-to-head, and that is worrying, because we lost, of course, at Jagodina. Is it done on like an aggregate score of the head-to-heads? Only time will tell. So, there you go. We are top of... Well, we're not top. We are nearly top of the division at the moment. Now, in our next episode, it will just be a standard month update this time, and it will be... It'll be the cup game is the live com. So we've got... Oh, bloody hell. I really wish I'd noticed that I could have done that as the live com for this episode. That is a shame, but I will promise that we will be doing the away game against Partizan. Even though it comes in the middle of April, I'll make sure that we do that as an episode. I promise you, that'll be a live com. So yeah, Partizan is our next game at home. Then we've got Rad. I like that name. I just like that. Rad. Well, yeah, good stuff. And then we've got Borac at home as well. So potentially some winnable games there. And then we've got our cup match. And that will be the live com for the next episode. So guys, if you like what you've seen and are enjoying this brand new series, please feel free to drop a like on the episode. And if you'd like to even more than that, please feel free to subscribe to our channel for more Portsmouth and Sleeping Giants in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for the unknown game. Bye-bye.